கேத்திரேன் நாரணத்தின் ஞானத்தமிழ் புரிந்தனான் திருக்கண்டேன் மும்மேனி கண்டேன் திகழுமரு கந்தனிதரமும் கண்டேன் திருக்கிளரம் பொன்னாடி கண்டேன் புரிதங்கங்கை கண்டேன் நாடி வண்ணன் பாலின்னு லக்ஷ்மீ ஜரணலாக்ஷம் கதாட்சி ஸ்ரீவத்சவக்ரசே க்ஷேமங்கராய சர்வேஷாம் ஸ்ரீரங்கேசாய மங்களம் श्री अक्कांताय कल्याणदये निधयेऽर्थिनां श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलम् अस्तु श्री स्तनकस्तूरीवासनावासितोरसे श्री हस्तिगिरिनाथाय देवराजाय मङ्गलम् कमलाकुचकस्तूरीकर्दमां इदाग्रसे यादवाद्रिनिवासाय सम्पत्पुत्राय मङ्गलम् नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने सुभद्रा प्राणनादाय श्रीजगन्नाथाय मङ्गलम् स्वोच्छिष्टमालिका बन्धा गन्धबन्धुरजिष्णवे विष्णुचित्ततनूजाये गोदाये नित्यमङ्गलम् श्रीनगर्यां महापुर्यां ताम्रवर्णिं नरे नरे श्रीदिग्गणे मूलधाम्ने सर्वोपाय मङ्गलम् शेषो वा सैन्यनाथो वा श्रीपतिर्वेदि सात्विकैर्वितर्क्याय महाप्राज्ञैर्भाष्यकाराय मङ्गलम् तुलामूलावतीर्णाय तोषिताखिलसूरये सौम्यजा मातृमुनये तेषां छायास्तु मङ्गलम् मङ्गलाचरणवरैर्मदाचार्य पुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृपायास्तु मङ्गलम् तद्विष्णाः परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरयः दिवीवचक्षुषा तदं तद्विप्राः स्वविपन्यवो जागृवां सस्समिन्धते विष्णोर्यत्परमं पदं पर्याप्त्यानन्तरायाय सर्वस्तोमोदिरात्र उत्तममहर्भवति सर्वस्याप्यै सर्वस्य कृत्यै सर्वमेव तेनाप्नोति सर्वं जयति नारायणाय विद्महे वासुदेवाय धीमहि तन्नो विष्णुः प्रचोदयात् ॐ महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मीः प्रचोदयात् சதித்தருளாதிருஹாலே வந்துன்னச்சே வித்து உன்பொத்தாமரடியே போத்தும் பொருள் கேளாய் பெத்தாமே துண்ணும் குலத்தில் பிறந்து நீ குத்தேவலங்களை கொள்ளாமல் போகாது தாமரையடியே போத்தும் பொருள் கேளாய் பெத்தாமே துண்ணும் குலத்தில் பிறந்து நீ குத்தே வரங்களை கொள்ளாமல் போகாது மாதவனை கேசவனை திங்கள் திருமுகத்து செய்யார் சென்னிறங்கி கங்கப்பறை உண்டவாத்தை அணி ஊவை வைங்கமல தண்டெறியல் பட்டல் பிரான் கோதை சொன்னார் தமிழ்மாலை முப்பதும் தப்பாமே இங்கு பரிசுரைப்பார் இரண்டு மால் வரைத்தோள் செங்கன் திருமுகத்து செல்வத் திருமாலால் எங்கும் திருவருள் பெற்று இன்புறுவரும் கடல் கடைந்த மாதவனை கேசவனை திங்கள் திருமுகத்து சேழையார் சென்னிறங்கி அங்கப்பறை கொண்ட வார்த்தை அணிபுதுவை வைங்கமல தண்டெறியல் வட்டல் விரான் கோதை சொன்னார் தமிழ் மாலை முப்பதும் தப்பாமே இங்கு பரிசுரைப்பார் இரண்டு மால் வரைத்தோள் செங்கன் திருமுகத்து செல்வத் திருமாலால் எங்கும் திருவருள் பெற்று இன்புறுவரும் பல்லாண்டு வல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம் பல்லாண்டு
Jai Sriman Narayana.
Jai Shri Narayana.
A very happy Badrinath Tirunakshatram today. When the sun enters Karkataka Rasi and Hasta Nakshatram comes, that was the day when the Lord Nara and Narayana appeared in this earth. It's not during this Kali Yuga, and it is not during this Manvantara also. One Manvantara means 71 Chaturyugas. One Chaturyuga means 4.32 million years. This is 7th Manvantara, called Vaivasvata. But the first Manvantaram is called Swayambhuva Manvantara. During Swayambhuva Manvantara, Lord Nara and Narayana appeared on this earth. And when they appeared to a couple called Dharma Prajapati and Murti. Her name was Murti, one of the daughters of Daksha Prajapati. And that couple got these twins called Narayana and Nara. When they appeared, they requested their mother, Murti, to allow them to be in meditation for long. And mother was pretty gracious on them. And she was very pious lady. And she said, okay, no objection. You can sit in meditation. Both those children, Narayana and Nara, chose a place on both sides of the river Alkananda. Narayana was sitting on the western side of the river, facing east, and Nara was sitting facing Narayana. And both started doing penance, doing and doing and doing. Chaturyugas passed, Manvantaras passed, and still they are in meditation. We heard the story of Valmiki. How many of you know the story of Valmiki? Valmiki. Who is that guy?
Author of Ramayana. Author of Ramayana.
Who wrote Ramayana? Who composed the history of that time in the form of a scripture called Sri Ramayanam. How he became Valmiki, do you have an idea? He was a Ruksha by name, but by the grace of sages, he sat down in tapas for many, probably centuries. And as he sat down in the meditation, not just moving, and then formed anthill on him. And the anthill became so big, he was in the anthill. After quite a bit of time, there was a torrential rain, and the anthill slowly started melting. melted. Then a person from within the anthill came out. The anthill is called Valmikam in Sanskrit. One who came out of Valmikam became Valmiki. Rain is called Prachetas. And because of the rain, he came out. So the person who came out of the Valmikam, the Valmiki, also was renowned as Prachetas. So, Prachetasa or Valmiki or his names, and he came out of the Valmika, the anthill. So that's how, if you are not just moving this table from here, though your atmosphere you think is pretty clear, but after a couple of days, if you just swipe like this, you can see the line. Dust forms. And if a man sits, also dust forms. And as it mounts, then it becomes until, and still becomes more, it becomes a heap, and then a hill, and then a mountain. Nara and Narayana also like that, sitting in the meditation. Since then they born in the Swayambhu Manvantaram. Till today, they are still in the meditation. How many years have passed?
7 Manvantaras.
One Manvantara means 4.32 billion into millions into 71. That's one Manvantara. Into 6. 6 Manvantara. This is 7th Manvantara, and in this, so far, 28 Chaturyugas have passed. So 28 into 4.32 billion millions. Add that to the figure. You get the time. These many years have passed after they sat down in the meditation. And meditation is still continuing. What for? For our sake. For our benefit. For our well-being. We the humans are very arrogant and egotistic. Not able to understand the grace of God in blessing us with a human body. He gave it with a purpose, but we never cared to understand the purpose. And we started just using it in our own way. When an office gives you a vehicle, and if you don't want to know why the vehicle is given, and you start using it to going to the beaches and the pubs and stuff like that, you know what happens. But God is so gracious. He has given this body to all of us to make best use of it so that we can break down the cycle of death and birth, and we can become very clean in the divine abode, where no question of sticking with anything like karmic records. Ultimate purpose is that, but we don't want to be like that. No, we don't want to go like that. And we, with all effort, try to acquire as many karmic records as possible. And as they sit in the meditation, thus we sit under the karmic records. We want to mount the karmic records as many as possible. With our own effort we acquire. And in spite of that, he's compassionate as a mother. In spite of the child's naughty deeds, she tolerates and bears with the baby and tries to teach something good to the baby. Thus, he tries to teach us something good by several appearances called avatars. And he took one avatara as twins called Nara and Narayana. And remind same like that. Mountains formed on them. Even today, if you go to Badrinath, you can see one small mount on the western side of river Alkananda, which is not so high. And on the eastern side of Alkananda, we can see a very tall and steep mountain. That's called Nara. The reason being Nara is standing on one leg like this, just raising his hand, trying to shoot up. And Narayana is sitting in meditation. And that's the reason Narayana mount is short and Nara mount is tall. They are still there, meditating upon. Only one Lord took two forms called Narayana and Nara. As Narayana, he became the teacher. As Nara, he became the disciple. Why two? There's a reason. Because in this world, though we have to get released from these bondages to reach a higher plane, we need to get some kind of initiation from the gurus. But who wants to be a disciple? We don't want to be a disciple. We want to be gurus. Because if you become a disciple, you should be always humble. And you should be listening to the gurus. You should be just following their instructions. They'll be guiding you. And you are something to be guided. Do we need somebody's guidance? Don't we know anything? Is there anybody to teach us? Even if you ask our own children, they say, I know mom, what I am. I know dad, what I have to do. That's human beings. That's what we are. Child is like that. But disciple should be still benevolent to the teacher. Understand? And if teacher says just do that, and that he has to do it. And to come back to the guru again and sir, what can I do, sir? And if he instructs something else to do, and again, with no second say, has to go and do that and come back. And again, yes, sir, I completed. What more I can do, sir, for you? You should keep on asking like that, and after finishing the assigned task, Kim Karavani? Kim Karavani? What more can I do? Because he keeps on and on asking to do something more, like Kim Karavani. So his name became King Kara. King Kara. Because he always asks Kim Karavan, Kim Karavan. So his name became King Kara. Always asks and receiving the instructions and executing them to the dot. And keep on doing like that. So his name became King Kara. There is nothing of his own opinion. He follows the opinion of his Guru with no second thought whatsoever. Are we like this? We are also disciples, right? Some disciples come to us and Swamiji, I want to know about this. Okay, what do you want to know? Then they ask a question. Then we try to answer. That's okay, Swami, but I heard about this something like that from somewhere else. That's okay. Then why did you come to me? You already know something about it. Why did you come to me? No, Swamiji, why it not be like this? No, it cannot be like it because of 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons. No, Swamiji, that's okay. But somebody says it is something like this. And then go and clarify then why did you come to me and why unnecessarily you break my head? This is the type of disciples we have today. Right? Somebody said, disciples search for gurus and keep on and on searching. Right? When they find a guru who follows him. And they're happy with him. So, that is the type of disciples we are. We don't follow anybody. That's why gurus also became like that today. You understand? When the disciple comes, then he stands and, welcome, sir. And then he offers a nice chair and brings a cup of coffee because after a long time, one disciple he got. And if he also was not taken care properly, then that guy also goes for some other teacher. So he should maintain the customer properly. It's a customer relationship. So taking care of disciples is pretty difficult nowadays. Understand? And because disciples have hundreds and thousands of gurus, becoming guru is easy. And find out something new, you become a guru. Right? Anything, just you say something, my heart is here on the back, you become a guru. To find out the heart, follow 1, 2, 3, 4 instructions, and then you can start a school for that. And you can charge something, and you can give the step-by-step process of doing something for that. You become a guru. Who saw? That heart is there. Did you see that? I got, suddenly God appeared in my dreams in the midnight at 2 o'clock. And then he said that heart is here for you. So okay, then you keep your heart there. Doesn't matter. Why unnecessarily spoil others too and changing their hearts? We don't understand. Anything new comes, people are crazy. They want to just simply follow that. You know who follow this kind of things? Only educated guys. Illiterates never follow such kind of things. They very simply follow whatever their lineage teaches them. This kind of school fools start only with the educated brutes. You understand what I said? This kind of new ideology comes only from the educated brutes. Somebody said, you are from the apes. And you started waving the tail. Oh, I have a tail. Are you fool? Who said that your father is a monkey? Huh? Your grandfather is a monkey. And your great-grandfather is a monkey. And you become a man. Wah, wah, wah. When father is a monkey and grandfather is a monkey and his grandfather is a monkey, how you can become a man? No brain. You don't know probably. In San Francisco there was an international conference of apes. Many apes came from all over the world. Asian apes came, Indian apes came, and Malaysian apes came, Singapore apes came, and Russian, Japanese, German, Arabian apes. So many apes came with a single agenda. Is man our higher? Very single agenda. They had a long discussion of 3 days. Finally, they came to a conclusion and passed resolutions. Man is cheating us. He never becomes our higher. And we never become their ancestors. Because they speak lies. We never speak lies. Understand? They eat cooked food. We never eat cooked foods. You understand? We are vegetarians. They are not. Whatever nonsense stuff, they never mind eating that. Somehow adjusting and accommodating. But we won't. How can man becomes our higher? Huh? How can he become a wine, our lineage? And then they prepared so many placards and made a big walkathon, a big demonstration. Do you know that? Probably you might not have seen. You don't want to see such kind of things. Some ape said that we are from apes, and all other apes started believing that. If you go to your grandfather and ask him, Grandpa, are you an ape? How does he feel? And if you go to your grandma and ask, hey grandma, you are an ape. Does they feel happy? Why do they say so? Because they didn't have any evidence. Okay, I'll ask you some question. Should I? Should I ask you?
Yes.
What is the name of your father? What is the name of your father? Huh? Mohan. His father? And his father? Do you have an idea? No? Okay. Do you have any evidence that he was there? Okay. What about his father? No photo. Do you have any clay pots, stuff like that? Any tools that he used? Then how can you say that he was existing? Your grandfather says something cock and bull stories. How can you prove scientifically that he was existing? I want some kind of tangible evidence. Can you prove something like that? Do you have any record? No record, no evidences, no photographs, no used material. How can you say that he was existing? So then there was no man with any kind of civilization. Only apes were there. Understand? Because you are not able to prove it. And your grandfather said, your great-grandfather said, don't say something nonsense. Show me some evidence. Because you cannot prove. So I say only there were apes with no civilization. And you came from them. You accept it, right? You simply follow that, right? This is what the theory is all about. Evolutionary theory. Arey Baba, you may not be having any kind of evidence, but whatever my father said is evidence for me. Whatever my grandfather said, that was evidence to my father. They have something to say in the lineage. And because you cannot prove anything, I write your history. And then I started writing your family's history. And you started following it very sincerely and so humbly. And you are reading it. Man's history came today like that. We have our own ancestors called rishis. They said how the whole thing started. They said how the lineage was. And you want to accept any kind of say those things. And you said, all they are mythology. It's something came from the myth. Or what we say is true. How long and how far your vision goes. Maybe 3, 5, 10, 100 generations, if the record is maintained beyond that. Can you prove anything? All that is hypothetical. That's all it is. But we have our own evidences. We have our own predecessors. We have our own ancestors who made those records and presented to us, and which we are still following. They are called Puranas. They are called Itihasas. They are called Vedas. They are called Upanishads. Whatever the literature we have today is what our ancestors presented. Probably you might have born from a monkey. Keep it with you. We have no objection. But not we. So don't you accept evolution then? We do accept. Why don't we? But not the way you think. Amoeba started, and then ape came, and tail cut, and then man started. That's not the evolution we talk about. We talk about the evolution in a way as the tree comes from a seed. Whatever you see in the form of a big tree today, with all their trunks, branches, leaves, and tenders, with all the same structure, it was very much programmed in the seed. You cannot see that by any kind of device. But pretty much there in the seed, as it is today, in the same pattern, in a very subtle manner. And if you allow those things to come out of that seed, and you create such a kind of environment, then each one of them will come one after the other in a particular manner. They come in a specific way, one after the other. They are there, but their coming up has a specific way. That is what we call evolution. Not new comes out of nothing. Whatever that was existing in a different form takes something, another form, and then comes out in a visible manner. From invisible state to visible state. From subtle form to big form. From micro to macro. That's all it is. Nothing new comes, and existing never disappears in total. It changes the form of it. That is what it is. See, you need such a kind of lineage and teaching. But what people think is, I should become an inventor, a discoverer, and then he talks about something and he wants to fool others, and some other fools start talking about that guy. Becoming disciple is very, very difficult. Understand? Krishna thought Arjuna became a nice disciple because he said in Bhagavad Gita, in 2nd chapter, Sishyasteham Syadhimam Tvam Prapannam Sishyasteham. Hey Lord Krishna, I am your disciple. So enlighten me with great things. I surrender to you. Krishna thought what he said is something true. And he started revealing Bhagavad Gita. All the Bhagavad Gita he revealed. War is over. And they came back to their tent. And Arjuna was still sitting in the chariot, giving the pose. And Krishna is there in front of him. He said, hey, get down, boy. We came back to our place. Krishna, I am the Vijaya. I am the victory. I got the victory, right? Don't you know the protocol? What is the protocol? You are a charioteer. I am the warrior. Duty of the charioteer is to get down first, open the door, and show the hand. Then I have to hold the hand and should come down. Before that you were doing so. Now I became, Vijaya. I won the war. And now you are not just, coming down, opening the door and you want me to get on. This is against the protocol, Krishna said. There is a saying in Telugu, కత్తి వాటుకు నెత్తురు చుక్కలేదు అని. I mean, Krishna became so pale. My God, this is the way my preaching resulted. చదవక ముందు కాకరకాయ, చదివిన తర్వాత కీకరకాయ. Something reaction, very bad reaction. Krishna knocked Arjuna out of the chariot. Arjuna was stunned. Immediately Krishna jumped out the chariot. The moment Krishna came down the chariot, it was simply burned to ashes. And now it was the turn of Arjuna. And he was stunned. What is this, Krishna? Krishna said, you fool, you want me to first get down and open the door, right? The moment I come down the chariot, I think along with the chariot, you also would have burned to the ashes. You are thinking it is your power to get the victory, right? And it's just because of you the chariot is intact. The arrows shooted by Aswathama and others, don't think they are ordinary arrows. They would have burnt you to ashes long ago. But as I am there sitting on the chariot is intact. If I wouldn't have been there, I think in the war itself you would have gone totally. And you want me to first get down and open the chariot, right? The door. How much I preached you. Is this the way you understood me? Disciple. That is the disciple state. And becoming a disciple is very difficult, my friends. That's why it became duty of the teachers to take care of the disciples. Otherwise, the available one disciple also will run away. Just like the devotees we see. You are great, of course. You are also great. But not all are like you. So Lord wanted to show how a disciple should conduct himself in the presence of a guru or with the instructions of a guru. So he himself chose to be a disciple, to make him as an example for others. And then becoming guru also a very difficult thing. Not only becoming disciple is difficult, becoming guru also is very difficult thing. Because normally what people think is, if we become a guru and then I go just decorate in a specific way and sit somewhere in the posture like a guru, people start coming and offering fruits and dropping some bugs there. And then somebody comes and start agarbatti. And something comes and just gives the harati. And then he can give them akshata, or vibhudi, or kumkuma, or sandal. Something he can give. And they think, easy job. With no investment. With no education, with no knowledge. Becoming guru is easy, what people think today. That's how we see today so many distractions in religion, especially with Hindus. Go to a temple, you see hundreds of things all around. Why hundreds, we don't know. They say, all are one, no Swami, what is there? If you really believe all are one, keep one, that is enough. No, many are needed. Why many? We don't know. Whether the logic they use matches or not, also they can't understand. That's why I said educated brutes. Becoming guru is very difficult. To become a guru, how much he has to study, how he has to conduct, from how many he has to be guided, is very difficult thing. And that is to be shown to the world. So he chose to be a guru also. For he became a guru, he became a disciple, and he took both forms like twins, Narayana and Nara. Nara Narayana Rishi. They became rishis, visionaries. And they chose that place in Himalayas, which is the topmost place of the world. And from there they want to see that the flow should go down to the end of the, the persons, to the common man, up to the common man's doorstep. If you keep a lamp in the ground, only a little area will be, delighted. But if you keep it on the mount hill, on the hilltop, the light will be spread all around. He chose that place in Himalayas. And there they started doing the penance on Ashtakshari Maha Mantra, which is the quintessence of all the Vedic literature. Until today, they are just doing that meditation and allowing the flow to sanctify the whole earth. It was because of the grace of Ramanujacharya later that mantra came to us. Before Ramanujacharya, the mantra was kept pretty secret. In a lifetime, one guru may give to one disciple. Just one disciple, that's it. Which was called Oran Vari in Tamil. One guru to only one disciple. And if that disciple also he didn't find, then it's lost with him. Jeeranam Ange Subhashitam. It gone with him only. That's how they were. The grace of Ramanujacharya Swami 1000 years before made that mantra to reach even to the level of very common persons like us. Now we are able to understand it. Now we are able to chant it. So that Nara and Narayana appeared on this day, on the Hasta star. Today is a Hasta. On this day, they both appeared in a place in Badrinath. Even today, that place is very much properly preserved. They call it as Leela Dungi. Dungi is a stone in their language. Leela, where God came just, to bless the world. So that's called Leela Dungi. And today, in that place, the Lord Nara and Narayana, they come out of the temple, and then they take a procession. And we have a kshetram there in Badrinath. Our Swami, Padaji Swamiji, he constructed one nice place where anybody we go, we can stay there. We have nice prasadam. I think you understand now very well. Because most of our, the South Indians are very much used with the rice eating. Rice is now, I don't know how much chaos. Even for new iPhone also, that much rush will not be there. No question of the shopkeeper giving rice. They jumping to that level and just like the Superman, and they trying to pick up, just run away. Rice, very difficult, because we born with rice and we live with rice. When people from different places who are used to eat rice, they go to Badrinath, they won't get rice there. There they only prepare the pulkas and puris and something like that. But for people who travel as a tourist to have a darshan of that Lord there, they won't get anything right in the North India. And hence in our kshetram, our Swamiji made a kind of arrangement. Anybody goes there should be given with prasadam. So Anna Prasadam, nice rice, nice avakai, nice charu, nice sambar, and something, whatever they are able to eat, a nice pachadi. For some people, anything is there or not. If some pachadi is there, I think that's pretty much enough. So there in our ashram, for everybody who ever come there, prasadam is served, and if accommodation available, they give accommodation. Not many rooms are there, approximately 40-50 rooms are there. And they try to provide the accommodation and prasadam. I think you may be remembering, there was an incident in Kedarnath. Did you know that? There was a big glacier and thousands of people were buried in Kedarnath. After that, now the renovation took place, and they expanded the whole area. But then it was pretty severe. Almost 8,000 people were held up in Badrinath because roads were closed. No roads. And because the roads were closed and 8,000 people were stayed there, and they don't know when the roads are going to be open. All the people in the local closed their shops. They sold out their material and they closed the shops, and they just kept like that. What about their food? Our kshetram was having stock with them. For all those 8,000 people, for 1 month, our people fed them. In that year. And after that, after 1 month, I think some flights were organized, helicopters were organized from there to transport the people. And they were able to transport 5,000 people. Still 3,000 people were held there in Badrinath. Our place is called Ashtakshari Kshetra in Badrinath. And that place became the nodal center for, people to make some kind of arrangements for officials. And for all the 3,000 people, another 1 month, our kshetram only fed them with nice rice and avakai. Because our kshetram always maintains the stock for 1 year. Understand? Because it's a hilly area, hill station. Things are not available. So they prepare all the material for 1 year. And all that material was used. In a year, on an average, about 80,000 people will take prasadam in our kshetra on a regular way. So because the material is there, and many people prepare the avakai like pickles, and they send those pickles to our ashram. There, of course, our people feed them. So those who are there, during that time, somebody said, there was a reporter from the magazine. And that reporter seems that he said, with our priest, if you start feeding like this, who will go from here? It looks far better than home. Because morning balabhogam is there, afternoon lunch is there, evening snacks are there. And again night dinner is there, all with nice prasadams and sambar and pickles and stuff like that. So in Badrinath, where Nara and Narayana are still seated, our Swamiji was there for 4 times, and he did penance for 40 days each time. And 4th time in 1954, see, then he took almost 300 people, stayed there 40 days, and the mantra japam was done for 10 crores of times. And 10 crores means 100 millions. The rule is when you do japa, meditation, 1/10 of that you have to offer as havan. That means 10 millions. That is 1 crore. So 1 crore times Ashtakshari havan was done. Koti Havana Maha Kratave Namaha is one of the names of our Swami. He did that. And he took so many scholars from South India. There was a great scholar in those days, till 1983. He used to be called as Prativadi Bhayankaram, Annangaracharya Swami. Very close to our Swamiji, very, very lovely relationship they used to have. And he asked our Swamiji when he was taking all these scholars, Swami, you are taking 300 Pandits. They are okay here. You are taking them Badrikashram. Are you bringing them back or not? Because that was the situation in those days. Even to Kasi, even to go to Kasi also, they don't have many facilities in those days. Back in 1950s, beginning of 1950s. They used to write a will and then they used to travel. If they come, it is fine. If they won't come, still it is fine. Because they reach that abode. For Badrikashram also the situation was like that. Not many people from South India used to travel to Badrinath in those days. Swamiji was the first person who bridged the gap between the South India and Badrinath. All the 300 scholars stayed there for 2 months, did the japam and havan, and after that there is a process like tarpana, pushpanjali, tadiyarana, etc. All they were done very, very well, and everybody came back safe. Then Swamiji built, somebody gave a piece of land there, and then in that land Swamiji constructed where people can stay, take prasadam, and then come back safely. Still it is, of course, running well. People still go there. How many of you visited that place, Badrinath? Right? Did you see our Astakrit Kshetra? You did? Next time when you go, you ask for Andhra Ashram. People say it is Andhra Ashram or Astak Kshetram, both names are known to them. And you can see Ramanuja's statue, 36 feet height. And you can see our Swamiji's statue also there, which were recently consecrated there. And you can see Ramakartu Stambham and a Veda Stambham also there, which are the remarkable insignia of our Swamiji. And you can stay there, you can take prasadam, garam garam. I still remember one family came to our Jiva Ashram, probably 10 years ago, I suppose. Wife, husband and 2 children. They went on a North Indian tour. For 15 days they have no proper food. Taking some fruits, some, what you call that, lassi and some juice and stuff like this. They were so much tired. They went to Badrikashram evening at 4 o'clock it seems. They reached by the time. And they went to our Satram, our Astakri Kshetram. At that time, and nice rice and garam garam rasam and nice avakai. With that the food is given Swamiji. We were, our pranam was, as if it raised now. That's how all we feel that he showed his family members. And then he said, and you can understand how our feelings will be then. As if our pranam rose. We felt so happy, That is the grace of our Acharya, our Padajaya Swamiji. Because he showed the path, then we were able to reach such places and visit that Lord there. Our Venu Swami, he knows everything, from the beginning he was there. And today is the birth star of that Badri Nara Narayana. Right? So blessed here we and Padmaja and Sridhar. They are blessed because Andal chose their house and Nara Narayana chose their house to be the place for celebrating the birthday of Nara Narayana. And I am so happy. Let us chant the slokam, the dedicated slokam for that, and a mantra also. And then have the tirtha, right? Let us chant a mantra given by great Veda Vyasa with regard to the Nara Narayana and their greatness. Then say, and know what they said here in the Bhagavatam? This is the 5th canto of Bhagavatam. The Bharata Varsham starts from Vietnam. Understand? In those days, Bharata Varsha means don't think there's no small piece. Angkor Wat came because of that reason only there, the Cambodia. So from there till the end of what you call the Afghanistan and other places, Gandhara, this Gulf. Till then it was Bharata Varsha. And even the top also, probably up to China, everything was Bharat. In this Bharata Varsha, worshipable deity is Narayana. Because for every place they indicated one form of the Lord. Bharatepi Varshe Bhagavan Nara Narayanakhya Akalpantam Upachita Dharma Jnana Vairagya Aishwarya Upasama Uparama Atma Upalambhanam Anugrahaya Atmavatam Anukampaya Tapaha Avyakta Gatihi Charati. This is what Vedavyasa says. Here Nara Narayana is the one who should be worshipped by those who are really interested in the realization of the self and also the Lord. And then a mantra is also given. Let us say that mantra first. Sit down properly, hold the hands, and see